Welcome to Digital Marketing for Contractors. This podcast is brought to you by Fat Cat Strategies, a full-service digital marketing agency based in Raleigh, North Carolina. We specialize in helping home improvement contractors just like you grow their businesses.
Today, you're listening to a series called Build, Grow, Dominate. Marketing strategies for every stage of your home improvement business. Every Wednesday, we take a deep dive into the lessons that we've learned from supporting some amazing business owners in the home improvement industry.
In part 1, we'll cover the essentials from startup to your first 5 million. In part 2, we're shifting gears to focus on what it takes to scale your business to a successful exit and/or how to dominate your market.
Now let's get into it.
I'm Janet, and I am the founder of Fat Cat Strategies. Today, I'm joined by my colleague, Caitlyn Noble.
Hey, I'm Caitlyn, head of client services here at Fat Cat Strategies. Janet, what are we going to dive into today?
Oh, what are we talking about? Okay, today we are talking about a powerful strategy that many contractors may overlook, and that is multi-channel marketing. Now, that sounds sort of like a buzzword, but that's why we're here. We're going to break it down. So what do I mean when I say multi-channel marketing? It means specifically how to blend your digital campaigns, that's everything that's happening on the internet, with traditional media like TV and radio.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're listening to this and your business has already established a strong local presence, and you're ready to scale, this episode is absolutely for you. By integrating digital and traditional media, you can seriously boost your lead generation and maximize the return on your marketing spend.
So let's start with the basics. Multi-channel marketing is exactly what it sounds like, where you use multiple marketing channels. And I know that sounds redundant. Same words to define it, but just bear with us. So what you're doing is you're using multiple channels to reach your audience.
Right.
So think about it. You're going to have them see you and encounter your business on social media. Then if they've signed up to receive something from you, you can send them an email. If you've got Google search ads running and they search on the products and services that you offer, they're going to see you on search ads. If you have Google display ads running and remarketing ads, when they're checking the weather or the sports score, they're going to see your branded ads. When we talk about multi-channel with digital and traditional, all of that stuff that I just described was digital on the internet. With multi-channel, we're talking about all that plus TV, radio, even print, and I'm going to throw in there canvassing and home shows.
Absolutely.
Anywhere that your prospective customers or your addressable market, and those would be homeowners in your service area, anywhere where they can encounter and interact with messages from your company, that's what we're talking about with multi-channel marketing.
Absolutely. And if you're just now tuning in to this series and you never listened to an episode before, we have 30 plus episodes that break down these different channels one by one. So go back, look through the titles, the actual social media, email to Google Ads, we've got that. So keep listening, but also know we do have a good library of content. But to Janet's point, okay, today is always about multi-channel marketing and what we're going to do. The key, though, is integration. You want your messaging to feel cohesive across every touch point. Cohesion is so important. So whether somebody hears you on a radio ad or clicks your Facebook ad, you just want to make sure that they are hearing your same way your business is. You
Presented.
Do you have multiple ways that you call your business? Is it roofing and is it exteriors and is it contractors? Make sure your business name is the same.
Yeah, that's the simplest thing.
Yeah, the most simple thing. But we're going to talk more about integration and why it's so important to make sure it's connected between digital and traditional. So why is that important?
So that is a great question. So why bother taking this extra effort to make sure that everything is both cohesive and integrated? Well, here's the deal. Traditional media builds awareness and credibility. If you're on TV and radio, people are assuming that you are legit, you're a local business, and you've got enough money to run that ad.
Yeah.
TV has been around, I'm going to date myself. What are we talking about? the 50s, the late 40s, 50s. So just by having your image and message and company name broadcast into people's living room, that's just going to build awareness and trust that not many other things do. That and radio.
Radio's been around a lot.
Radio's been around a lot longer. So we, as humans, we've been sort of programmed to receive information through those two mediums. So, what we're talking about is making sure that your brand messages and your brand story are consistent across all these different channels.
Absolutely. And on the flip side, digital channels, which are much newer, much newer. Even the origin of Fat Cat, digital. Yes, within the last decade. But as are most marketing agencies, that's going to give you the data, the variety, and the fast feedback. So when you can combine those two, both digital and traditional, you're going to get reach and precision.
Exactly. And plus, more channels equals more touch points equals more chances to convert a lead.
Praise. So let's talk tactics. First up, with align your messaging, whether it's a radio jingle or a Facebook video ad, your tone, your branding, and your value proposition should always be consistent.
Exactly. And so, if we're going to build on this idea about how to blend digital with traditional, the next thing you're going to want to do is use TV and radio to drive traffic to those online ads and campaigns that you've got. So, if the big shotgun approach or the giant net that you're using to catch butterflies is radio and TV, then the more precise, I'm mixing a bunch of metaphors here, the more precise weapon is going to be that digital. So if radio and TV is a shotgun, digital is, a highly precise, I don't do guns, so my metaphor fell apart. Anyway, I think you get where I'm going. So you can amplify your traditional media on social media. But Caitlyn's going to talk about that in a second. So if you're using radio and TV to drive traffic to these online campaigns, you should always include a call to action, like visit our website for a free quote, visit our website to download a buyer's guide, visit our website for a free, video on how to do, how to spot if you've got a problem with your siting. You're using that broad-based media to drive people to your online assets, and then you're including a very specific call to action. And then the way you integrate that is if you're using your TV commercial to drive people to get something specific off of your website, then you can track that traffic from that channel with a custom URL or a promo code. Exactly. So if your TV commercial is saying, hey, we've got a kitchen remodel design guide that's free that you can download from our website, then the URL that you promote on your TV commercial is going to be a trackable URL, so you can see how many people came to that URL from your TV commercial, and that's that bridge between digital and traditional.
Absolutely. So on to that note, you're aligning your messaging already through your tone, your branding, the value of your company is. You're doing this through TV and radio. You've got that jingle. You've got that commercial spot. You've got to also use social media. People are using that as a way to stalk who you are as a business, to I'm going to sniff you out. Yeah, sniff you out. And it'd be one thing, like, okay, I mean, and it's like my mom, she's probably not listening to this, but like she'll go check out, a business on Facebook before she goes to their website. And I think so she starts on Facebook and then ends up on the website. Yeah. I mean, I think that's where she quote unquote searches. I mean, she's 61 years old. And I think, for a lot of us, I'm going to Google. If I hear a business name, I'm going to do it in Google and just Google that. My 61-year-old mother uses Facebook as her search engine.
So if she were, let's leave contractors on the table for just a second to make like a sillier hypothetical scenario. If your mom wanted to get her nails done, she's gonna open up her iPad, probably is what she's got.
Yeah.
She's going to launch Facebook and search for nail salons in Facebook before she goes to Google.
Absolutely. Okay. So yeah, but like say her friend was like, "Hey, I want to lavish nails." She might even bypass search. She would type in
Lavish nails and then go check out what they're saying on social, and then maybe after that go to their website.
If she has to book the appointment. If she can do it all there on social media, she's gonna just do it all on social media.
Yeah, so that really drives the point home about integration.
Exactly.
You know, if you are saying one thing on TV and something different on radio, and let's say you've got a promo offer that you're hitting hard on like the morning talk show in your metro area, but that promo offer is not on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Or that promo offer is not on your radio commercial or not on the homepage of your website, then you've missed the opportunity to integrate and have all of those messages be really cohesive.
Yeah, and that goes to show for PPC as well. I mean, every PPC campaigns, you should absolutely be mentioning the same offer as you're mentioning on radio, on TV, on social media. Make sure it's all aligned. So to Jen's point, if someone hears you, here's your business name, they are seeing consistent messaging.
Yeah, and I'm kind of getting in the weeds with like a technical setting, but if you really wanted to dive deep into the integration, you know, we've had clients ask us to have settings on their Google search campaigns to be timed, you know, inside with when they know they're running TV spots.
Absolutely. It was increased.
Yeah, increased. So you make sure if somebody sees your ad while they're watching television program, whether it's on, you know, major broadcast network and you're doing it through a local affiliate or whether you're doing it through streaming, which I'm going to tease the next episode of our podcast where we're talking about streaming and OTT. So that like the lines are getting blurred, but on the Google PPC, those are paid ad search front, the search front, you know, think about the other places where your target audience could be hearing your message and make sure that your ads are optimized to show up when somebody sees your TV ad and then picks up their iPad and searches on your company name.
Yeah, I think that's going to make the whole
experience
those purport better. I mean, especially even for, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, your call center. Like, you're not having like mixed messaging on all these different channels. So then when somebody from the call center enters the phone knowing, hey, I heard about your $1,000 off offer, the call center's like, what? We had to put 50% installation going on. And like, make sure it's all the same. And
yes,
be
integrated.
Yeah, integrated. That's the whole point of this. So we always talk about the power of social proof. But if you've got a few great online reviews, make sure you're featuring them. I think this is another part of just making sure you're supporting and following up on the different ways you're using that multi-channel marketing. So take those online reviews, make sure you're featuring them on TV and radio spots, and send people to your website to read more. So social proof is huge. You can use that TV, radio, your video reviews online. These are other places that you can share those reviews as well.
So if you're running ads on the local sports talk radio, you know, just make sure to include in your ad script, hey, check us out on Google. We've got 325, 5-star reviews. Just let your audience know in those traditional channels about what people are saying about you online and tell them how to go find that information.
Yeah.
So also, let's talk about follow-up.
Yes.
So if we're talking about bridging this gap between traditional and digital media, email marketing is a great way to connect with leads captured from your digital campaign so you can continue the conversation. And I'm going to add text messaging into this. So if you have a compelling enough offer on your website or in your marketing to capture someone's contact information, whether that is email or text, then that's another bridge between traditional and digital where you can put those folks into a nurture campaign to continue that conversation.
Absolutely. And this is a no-brainer. If you're already as sophisticated as, we're making it up, you're running TV, you're running radio ads, you're on online running PPC ads, you've got a great website, please make sure you're tracking everything. Google Analytics, you've got to have it. Like, you've got to have it. Use that to track dispose of the traffic coming to your website. TV, radio, they're going to also want to make sure that they're integrated with your Google Analytics. In case they can, they should. And if they don't, that's probably a problem.
And I'm going to shout out here and give a plug to one of our favorite technology partners, which is What Converts.
Yeah.
Some of you guys may have heard of systems like CallRail. We really love What Converts. So if you are running these multi-channel campaigns, a tool like What Converts is your best friend.
Yes.
You can have trackable phone numbers on your trucks, on your yard signs, on your radio spots, on your TV commercials, and you will see every single call that came to those trackable phone numbers in your What Converts dashboard, which, by the way, can also send that information into the CRM that you're using, the CRM of your choice.
Yeah.
So when we're saying track everything, we're saying track every phone call, track every text, track every web form submission, and do it with technology that the customer it's frictionless for the customer. They're just calling what they think is your number, but you've just captured the source and channel of where that phone call came from. Did it come from TV, or did it come from your Google My Business profile, or did it come from an LSA ad?
Yeah.
So there are really cool software platforms and technology out there to allow you to track everything.
And then you're able to point back to that multi-channel marketing. And while we say do all of it, integrate it all together, you are able to then weigh, okay, this is working better than the other thing with the right tracking tools in place. Let's talk about a case study.
Yeah, let's give this some real world context. One of our clients recently ran a seasonal promotion using a true multi-channel approach.
Yep. They had TV and radio ads running in their local market. I was at the gym. I saw one of those radio ads. I saw it.
I want to see you see a radio ad.
A radio. As long as people I was at the gym and I saw even the local TV ads. So they were running TV and radio ads throughout the local market, directing people to a landing page. But even on the television ad, there was a QR code that sent them to the landing page. So you would stand right there at the gym and scan it. You didn't have to type in the URL to get to that page with a limited time offer.
Yeah, that's right. And then this client that we're working with, they also supported that campaign with PPC. Those are paid search ads.
Yeah.
They supported it with social media posts that were all on the same topic, consistent messaging, and follow-up email series. And they even retargeted people who visited their site after seeing the ads but didn't convert. So they are really blanketing the zone, with this message and this promo offer across multiple channels.
Absolutely. I mean, and honestly, to no surprise, the result was a huge spike in website traffic. A noticeable bump in booked consultations. So they had more and more appointments, and it all worked because it worked better. And dude, I think we'd be remiss to not tell the story about a dear friend who always referenced that triangle.
Yes. The online offline showroom triangle.
Yes, I think that's also another part of this integrated digital strategy is we have, I know it's easier for you.
So honestly, I always like to give credit where credit's due. Fat Cat has been in business almost 25 years. We weren't always totally focused on home improvement. In the early days, we just served small to medium-sized businesses here in our local market. And then we met an amazing human being that was running a one-day bath company that grew from one location to 7 locations and 185 employees across 3 states. He ended up selling his business to a very well-known name in this industry that has become a dominant player. And I personally learned so much from working with that client, who is now also a friend, as his business skyrocketed.
Right.
And he always talked about this triangle, and the triangle is online, offline, and with baths, you've got a showroom. I know not a lot of roofers, they may not have a showroom. So some of you may not have showrooms, but the point was you've got your traditional TV and radio, then you've got online, which is everything that we talk about on this podcast, And then that third leg of the triangle could either be a showroom, or it could be your canvassing. It could be your event game. It's your human to human in-person contact. And the idea of this triangle is that you just devote a marketing budget to it and you commit yourself to multi-channel.
Yeah.
And even though we're preaching the gospel about all this amazing tracking,
Right.
on some level, you're never going to be able to track it all the way down to the last atom, because maybe somebody saw your television commercial 5 times and then they walked by your booth at a home show before they decided to fill out a form on the website. And when they did fill out that form on the website, our tracking software attributed it to a PPC ad.
Exactly.
That is a multi-channel campaign.
Yes.
You built exposure and then you finally converted them. So I think I'm done being a soapbox talking about this triangle.
I was sitting here thinking, like, that is truly the multi-channel market. Like, that is that's multi-channel marketing. If you're driving people through your TV, through print postcards, through
Canvassing.
paid ads to come to your showroom and see your products in person, I mean, that's multi-channel.
Yes.
So, I think there's a lot of great takeaways. I would say the more live your message, the more impact you're going to see. And if you want help figuring out how to make it all work, we're here. That's why we're here. We have an awesome opportunity for you guys. We have a reactivation campaign, perfect for agreement contractors who want to generate new projects for past customers without having to chase these cold leads. So you've done this multi-channel marketing. You spent a ton of money canvassing, you bought shows, you spent a ton of money on PPC campaigns, and you generated a bunch of leads. Let's reactivate them. So if you go to fatcatstrategies.com/reactivate, that will also be in the show notes because that's a lot to remember. You can learn more about this awesome campaign that we're offering to our listeners.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. So next week, what are we talking about? We are going to continue this conversation about traditional media and how it's evolving, because it is.
Yes.
And now when people talk about TV, a lot of times they're talking about streaming. And for you contractors out there that want to get in front of homeowners, streaming is... Oh, yeah. Daily.
Daily. Daily. We've got a 20-year age gap, but we're both streaming.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't stream? Everybody's streaming. Ain't nobody got rabbit ears anymore.
My 61-year-old. Oh.
Okay, fine. Your mom wins. But then she's going to search on Facebook.
Yeah. Here.
So,
Multi-channel marketing, maybe.
So next week, what we're talking about is this evolution of television as it pertains to advertising.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about streaming platforms and how you can get your message on those platforms. It's called OTT, or over-the-top advertising. And it can be integrated easily and seamlessly into your digital strategy to maximize your reach, boost credibility, and convert more leads.
Yes, thank you so much again for joining us for another episode. If you are loving this series, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. Until then, keep building smarter and working smarter.
Digital Marketing for Contractors is created by Fat Cat Strategies. For more information, visit fatcatstrategies.com.